Hey all and welcome back to Arcade Spirits. I'm Agent of Mischief. Today we're going to be playing level 6, Hit the Lever. Let's jump right in, shall we? Is the future year 20 bleep? My dream has come true. Okay, let's be honest. If you asked me 2 months ago if my dream involved being the event coordinator in our video arcade, I'd have just stared at you funny. Stared at you kind of funny. Even now it sounds ridiculous. But it's true. I'm here, I'm successful, I'm happy, and this is my dream. Ever since Funplex Rising, business has been booming. Funplex is packed with players, day in, day out. Kids, teens, the college crowd, the nostalgic ones looking for old games they remember. I've run 3 events so far. We've started rotating our games out of storage and into play to keep things fresh. The high scoreboards are constantly shifting. In fact, things are going so well, Gavin's hinted that maybe we should start looking into a second location. But this will always be home. Seeing the smiles in co-workers and gamers alike, watching my friends laugh and play in good spirits, that's working for me and bringing me joy in turn. I won't argue why. In fact, I barely understand why. But I'm happy. And that's better than I've been in years of going with the flow. Going with the flow never brought me this much enjoyment. I'd say by this point, I've soundly broken the family curse. Maybe everything doesn't have to fall apart from under me. Maybe I can just be happy. Maybe this is where I'm meant to be. Sign here, please. Huh? Bicycle messenger nudges a slim envelope my way again, trying to catch my attention. I snapped out of my happy little trance immediately. Oh, right, no problem. After jotting down my signature, he drops off the envelope and heads right on out the door. No time for a moopy or a round of pinball, it seems. Deliveries to make. Curious, I opened it up. Raven Cater, you are cordially invited to dine and discuss business matters at Deco's Palace with CEO Deco Nami. Meeting time will be 7 in the evening sharp. You may bring a guest of your choosing. Free Royal Value swipe card available for enjoyment of games prior to meeting. What? I read through it a few more times, trying to parse all the curlicues and swirls and swooshes, although that doesn't clear my confusion of the whole matter. Soon Francine looks up from her knitting, curious about the letter as well, although she seems to have already an idea of what it says. I suppose it's about that time, isn't it? Huh?
Oh, dear.
Time for that fellow to make another attempt at wooing me. Double, huh? Rather, at wooing my beloved Funplex. Let me guess, Deco Nami of Deco's Palace sent you a fancy invitation with all sorts of fancy writing. That's accurate, yes. It's not the first time. He invited my dear Frederick and I over in 1980 Bleep to talk about selling the arcade, and we turned him down flat. Then in 1990 Bleep, when home game consoles were poised to take back the arcade crowd, he suggested we sell. We turned him down. Now it's 20 Bleep, and he's at it again. A gentleman would know when to quit, but he's got tenacity, and can't fault him for that. Why would a big-time arcade operator like Deco Nami care that much about us? We're small-time. No offense. Come now, if anyone should be offended, it's you, calling yourself small-time. Raven, dear, you've put in so much work to make my little arcade soar. I bet that's why he's knocking on our door again. We're thriving, and that's lured him back in. Like Gruyere cheese in the mousetrap. So, wait, are we the cheese or the trap?
I don't mind.
That depends on how clever you are, my dear. Right, so I'm the cheese, although I prefer to be nice mozzarella. Cheese types aside, do you want me to ignore the invite then? Oh heavens no. Contrary to what people say about the fellow, he's very much a man of his word. I always accept his invitation, always hear him out. It's only fair and proper. I thought he was like the arcade scene's greatest evildoer.
Be sensible.
That's a bit grandiose, no. Certainly plenty of rumors of his questionable methods abound. That's all they are, rumors. Politeness should be met with politeness. That's how you conduct proper business, and that's what the Funplex is all about. Percy moves to rise from her seat near the ticket desk. Pauses, leaning heavily on the glass countertop while looking strained. I move to help, but she waves me away. Sits back down. Oh, don't worry about little old me. I just stood up too quickly, that's all. Just out of breath. But Raven, I think it'd be best if you go on my stead. Me? Let's be serious now. These old bones aren't as spry as they once were. I think you'd have a good time there. Well, an interesting time at any rate. Say no more. I'd be happy to represent the Funplex with dignity. Good, good. But remember, only offer as much respect as you are given. If you should be uncouth, you have my permission to be uncouth as well. There are many exploiters and users in this industry, and undoubtedly Dekonami ranks in their number. So smile if he smiles, but use caution. So go there and turn him down. Got it. Solo's response is a bit concerning. I trust you to make the right decision for everyone. Which is to not sell the Funplex, right?
I don't feel that's my call to make anymore, dear. Maybe you haven't noticed, but I spend most of my time at home these days. Or napping. Or napping at home. The Funplex isn't really about me. Not anymore. It's so much more than Francine's arcade Funplex now. It's about you. It's about your co-workers. It's about all our regulars. You've made me realize that. And I'm thankful.
You're the one that started this place, Francine. You had a dream of a place where people could have fun, relax, make friends. I feel like even entertaining the idea of selling it is, well, it feels wrong, disrespectful to you and your dream. Oh, you're a peach, dear. But times are always changing. I'm an old fuddy-duddy stuck in her ways. Maybe the time has come to change how the Funplex does things. We're almost back to the heyday of 1980, bleep, thanks to the changes you've made. So I won't say you can't decide to sell. If it's a change you think we need, do it. Please keep an open mind. Francine sighs deeply, looking more tired than usual. It's only afternoon, and I'm already worn out. Haven't even done anything but sit here and knit all day. Knitting takes a lot of concentration, that's not nothing. If you're feeling pooped, you can always take a few days off. Go home, get some rest. All the same, I'd rather come in for work tomorrow. Even if it's little work for me to do, I love being here. Even if there's little work for me to do, I love being here. This is my true home. And yet you want me to keep an open mind about this deal?
Like I've told you, life can be a difficult series of trade-offs. What I want and what it should be are often different things. I'm relying on you to do right by everyone I love. If selling is in their best interest to keep this dream going, so be it, no matter what you decide. I'm proud of you. I knew there was something special about you when I hired you to replace my grandson. You are the brightest spirit at the Funplex. And while we may not be blood, I'm happy to consider you part of my family.
Aw, Francine. I didn't know you felt that way. Miss Francine, you have my sincerest gratitude. I promise to do right by you. You're a good person with a good heart, clear-headed too, a fun combination. Couldn't ask for more in someone you love. With another deep sigh, Francine eases herself out of her chair. Now, I think I'll take your suggestion and head on home. Well, for today anyway. I'll be here bright and early in the morning to hear how things went with Mr. Nami. I know you'll make the right decision. Good night, Raven. Be well. Make the right decision. Okay. I just can't see it. If we sell out, well, I've tried so hard, I've gone so far, and in the end it doesn't even matter? That's what the old Raven would have said. That everything's going to collapse in on itself, so I get emotionally invested. But new Raven grabs onto what they want with both hands and does not let go. If Francine wants me to hear him out, okay, but I seriously doubt this will change my mind. Now, who do I want to take as my +1?
Beep,
beep. Beep, beep. Raven. You want to come as my date? I'm your girl Friday, but I'm afraid you're not my type. My type being USB compatible, of course. I sensed you were in a state of deep ponderance and wanted to help. You were thinking of who to take to the meeting? Yeah, I mean, Percy's the obvious choice. I'm sure he'd have some opinions of Deko's palace. True, as part of the Funplex family, Percy would be a good pick. But this is a business meeting. You may want to consider widening your options. Percy will just support your decision either way. It's clear he trusts you. True, okay then. Let's take Gavin. I fired off a quick text to Gavin to summon him from the murky depths of his tiny back office. He's still scanning over his spreadsheets even as he approaches. Good news, Raven. This is our best week ever. I wouldn't advise getting too comfortable. Summer vacation's almost over, and that'll cut into the youth demographic, but... It's great, Gavin, but Francine's got a different job for us today. We're going to Deco's palace to meet and discuss a possible business venture. Probably a takeover. I see. I'd heard he'd made overtures in the past. Ironically enough, this may be the ideal time to approach him when we are at our strongest. If we're to even entertain the notion, I'd rather be in a position of power before entering negotiations. But if all he wants is a buyout, well, I'd object on multiple grounds to such a short-sighted idea. I'll go close my files and join you shortly. Don't make a big deal out of this, don't make a big deal out of this, don't make a big deal of this. We snicker at how awful the place is, tell Deco to shove it, go home, and then everything's back the way it should be. It's going to be fine, everything is fine. Gavin offers to drive us across town to Deco's palace. Contrary to talk before, we don't exchange many words. I'm deep in thought, running through all the possibilities of what could happen, and I can't shake this feeling. Something is off. Even looking at the glowing neon temple in the distance, my stomach knots and I feel uneasy. We finally pull up, Valley takes the car, and a glitzy blinking light blinds our eyes. Hesitantly, I look over to Gavin. That smile reassures me enough to continue onwards. This is for me, my friends, and the Funplex. I got this. I pause momentarily, inhaling the cool air around me. Then open the door. Deco's palace. I've actually been here before. I think my 6th birthday party was here. I barely remember it, but I think I had fun? Maybe? But on entering as an adult, my first reaction is, boy, is that a weird smell. A mix of chicken grease, beer, and sweaty kids. My second reaction is, jeez, is it noisy. Visually noisy and sound type noisy. All the chaos of a Vegas casino, a jumble of lights and bells and whiz-bangs. Once we acclimate to the new environment, we're escorted in and given VIP royal value swipe cards. No tokens, no quarters, just a card of indeterminate points to spend. We got a little over an hour to kill before the meeting. Time to see what's what at the palace. Oddly, Gavin's first reaction is to crunch some numbers. Based on the conversion ratio, swipe card points, real world dollars. Interesting. Variable game pricing, variable bonus points, the more money you spend, differing EV from game to game, likely adjusted based on popularity and payout. I can see why Deco's Palace is a profit fountain. They obfuscate how much you're actually spending here to keep you from realizing how expensive it all is. Don't like it, not one bit. A token is a token, a quarter is a quarter. Using points to trick people into overspending is blatant profiteering. And it's not like kids are busting out calculators trying to make sure they aren't wasting all their money on a crappy game.
I think not.
I didn't say it was ethical. I mean that it's effective. I wanted to switch swipe cards to the Funplex myself. Although I'd simplify them drastically. As you say, a play should be a play, ideally. Other balancing factors can be applied behind the scenes. I'd definitely like to study this a bit closer. There's a Festivus Comfort tournament tonight. I'll be over there. I'll join back up with you later. Okay, some time to kill, but not that much time to kill. I'll need to be choosy. What do I want to check out while waiting for my dinner date with Destiny? Decided to focus on trying to find games, like actual games. Except the whole place is basically full of slot machines. They're different shapes, sizes, and colors. None have a traditional one-armed bandit look to avoid running afoul of legal issues, but they're still slot machines. Every game here has a single button to stop a wheel or a colored light or try to line up the dots on something. The really complex ones, 3 buttons.
Hey, listen.
Hey, listen, hold me above your head. Huh? Visual scan, silly. I'll look for games you might be familiar with. With a shrug, I hoist my phone high in the air. The flash goes off, then I resume looking at Iris sitting in my screen.
Please enjoy this recorded music.
Processing. Please wait. Enjoy this recorded music. Oh, actually, let's skip the music. That didn't take long. Good high bandwidth public Wi-Fi in here to my cloud processors. I'm seeing lots of driving and shooting games, easy for casual players to pick up and play. Over in the esports section, there's dancing games and Fist of Discomfort. We've got all those things too, but I'm not seeing any joysticks. Is a game defined by having particular input devices? Well, no, not really, and I know most modern games are touchscreen based and so on, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like an arcade without a stick or two. Oh, I found something. Back of that section over there. with the green lighting. Head that way, that way. I weave my way through the crowd, past endless color cycler ticket games, past crane games, past light stackers, past games based on popular game shows, and find Mr. Moopy's magic maze. I'm going to tell Percy about this when I get back. He'll be happy to know that there's more than one Moopy in this neighborhood, except... Wait, it's only got one button and no joystick at all? Researching. One moment. Curious, I swipe my card through the slot and push the button. The Moopy runs to the maze by himself, or tries to anyway, before running headfirst into a monster and dying. She spits out 3 measly tickets and suggests I swipe again for another try. Moopy's Super Maze, created in 2000. Bleep! A company bought the expired rights to the Moopy brand and developed a game of chance with it. Well, bleep! That's weak. Teenager puts her Deco playing card on the cabinet and taps me on the shoulder, drawing my attention.
What's up?
Hey, I'm calling next, Kay. Yeah, whatever, knock yourself out. Thanks. I'm the master of this game, you know. The master. The key is when you push the button. You'll avoid the nasties that way. It's not great for tickets, no, not great, but it's Moopy, so that's cool, yeah? Old school, represent. She extends a fist to me, and I look awkwardly at her for a second before I realize I'm supposed to fist bump. I've yet to play real Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze, the real deal. Always wanted to. You should come down to the Funplex. We've got one. I'm the event coordinator there. I'd be happy to comp you a few tokens. We've also got a high score chaser you can offer tips. Tap phones with me. I'll send you the address. Seriously? Bleep, yeah. You're cool for an old person. Super cool. Old? I'm barely 10 years older than this kid, but whatever. We clink phones, exchanging a business card via Bluetooth. You know, my crew used to go to this great little arcade on the other side of town until Deco's Palace bought it and scrapped all the games. That was all kid stuff for kiddies. My hopes for this business meeting now sinking. So did he sell off all the classic games? Nah, he scrapped them. Trashed them. So leftover mashed up bits of Miss Pack behind the place in the dumpster.
Man, this sucks.
It's a bleeping shame. The way the old man always 86s on wanted games. Guess he doesn't want competitors getting their hands on him. No, sir. She gives a shrug. Kids say I like it, but what can you do? That's life. I'm able to thank you, then wander off a bit dazed. I think I've had enough of the retro game repertoire for now. Where to next? For the sound of it, there's a big tournament running in the dedicated esports section near the back. I wander through the games to join the crowd. Okay, I'll admit to being impressed. They've got no fewer than 10 Fisted Discomfort machines, all of them occupied by players in pro team jerseys and jackets. The crowd's red hot, cheering on their heroes as the back-and-forth resource battle of the world's most popular fighting strategy game plays out before them. Although the banner hanging above it all does make me shudder, Deco's Palace presents the Choco Energy Max Power Quench and Pizza Yum's Friday Night Fisting.
And you have pizza on a bagel.
See, even these gamers know that when pizza's on a bagel, you can. Oh god, please no, I haven't had one of those in weeks, since I started being able to afford real food. You just can't appreciate the sublime majesty of combining two of the greatest bread-related snack products into one hybrid masterpiece. Hang on, I sense a disturbance in the crowd. What was that? Bleep! I call hacks, you cheater. Two competitors step away from their game, start shouting and showing each other. I hope this doesn't escalate. And now it's full-on fight. Like an actual awkward grapple and punch fight. Yeah, kick his ass. Don't take any of that bleep from him. Destroy that mother bleeper. Violent altercation detected. Do you want me to call emergency services? Deco's Palace's security guards. They should be able to handle this. Two gamers both feel wildly at each other. One swing actually makes contact, blood dribbling down the corner of her mouth. Any second now. Except the people with black shirts that have security printed across their chests to stand there letting it happen. No one is doing anything to stop this. The crowd is eating it up, feeding off the cutthroat energy. Only after half a minute of this nonsense does security actually step in. Much to the crowd's dismay, the two angry gamers are still cursing and kicking as they are finally pulled apart. Wow, tough crowd. Interesting. I'd heard that Deco's Palace was a cesspit of bad attitudes. Guess I wasn't wrong. The crowd wanted blood, and Deco provided. I can't argue with the prophets. He knows his clientele, knows what they want. The most aggressive and in-your-face competition imaginable. But I question the ethics of it. Kind of makes me sick to my stomach. This is pro gaming, not pro hockey or pro wrestling. Why encourage violence? It does seem rather counterproductive. I guess they feel that it keeps an air of high-spirited competition aloft, but at what cost? Personally, I like the way you run events. Clean, no nonsense, fun for everyone involved. I don't think there's much we can learn here. Agreed, let's move on. Right, what next? Actually, the meeting is right around the corner, no more time to explore. After seeing a little bit of what Deco's Palace has to offer, I'm sticking to the plan. The Funplex is way more kind and caring spirit than this place, and I don't see Deco really embracing our ideals. Beep beep, Raven. It's now 7 p.m. sharp. Deco Nami is waiting for you. It's that time already. Time sure flies when you are having fun investigating. Fun investigating? I quickly sent a text to Gavin before nervously wringing my sweaty hands together. I let the sounds and sights of Deco's wash over me and retreat deep within myself. Francine comes to mind as I remind myself of what she said to me, of what she told me on my first day.
Everyone has a dream they're chasing.
No doubt you'll find yours as well. It gives me momentary respite and I smile. I know exactly what must be done and I'm going to go in there and do it. I only ended up waiting a minute or two before I was reunited with Gavin. Without having to introduce ourselves, staff swoops in anticipating our arrival and ushers us further to inside the restaurant. We're treated like royalty as they pull out our chairs for us and we sit down at our reserved table. Amongst the families huddled together around ginormous plates of pizza and chicken tenders, we stick out like a sore thumb. An actual linen tablecloth drapes over our table, accompanied by fancy little candles to set the mood, I suppose. A bottle of champagne on ice and a carafe of cucumber lime infused water also sits before us. Deco apparently spares no expense, at least not with his special guests. Fancy. Well, as fancy as this place can get. Don't be swayed by red carpet treatment. We're here to conduct business. Approach this with common rational mindset. I'm just here to support you, don't worry. Actually, I'd say that's my role. But you're the business manager. The invitation was in your name, not mine. I'm here to listen quietly and contribute where I see an opening in discussion, not to take point. But don't worry, I'm behind you every step of the way. Thanks, Gavin. Once again, the staff takes care of our needs as our food is delivered promptly. Faster than the other families seated here, who have been waiting some time, judging by the expansive crayon work on the kid placemats. Not surprisingly, we get a few side glances our way. Before any of us can shout out, and the man of the hour arrives. Raven Cater.
It's an honor to break bread with you.
Likewise. Okay, so he's got a bit of an over-the-top 1920 bleeps mob's boss, despite a lack of fedora. Clearly he likes showing off his money. But still, an ordinary guy in an expensive suit. When I pictured the Grand Poobah of Deco's Palace, I pictured someone more like, well, Hamza, I guess. He offers a simple smile and a nod at the head as we begin. It's a shame Miss Francine couldn't join us. I was looking forward to enjoying her sweet smile once more. But that said, I'm always happy to meet with, Gavin Cooper, business manager for the Funplex. Excellent, excellent. I was hoping to meet with you as well.
I take it Francine has kept you up to speed and explained our prior meetings to you?
Yes, she mentioned you wanted to buy the Funplex and that she's politely declined.
Oh, a courteous woman she is. Now, I don't feel I need to waste your time with the facts and figures illustrating why Deco's Palace is and always has been the premier family entertainment arcade. Both of you are intimately familiar with the arcade industry. You know how things are. How they'll always be. We are the 800-pound gorilla.
Whatever that means, bro. That's a big gorilla. Indeed. But that doesn't mean there isn't room for small and more boutique affairs such as the Funplex. Boutique, he says. I probably feel insulted by that.
Let me explain.
Frankly, the winds have changed to blowing. Smaller arcades need to move with the times and be swept aside. I want to help you evolve. What I'd like to propose is a change of ownership, in return for a very generous compensation package, one Miss Francine can easily retire on for the rest of her years. I would take over ownership of the Funplex to evolve it into its final form, Deco's Fun Zone. What's a Fun Zone?
Think about this.
A Fun Zone is a new concept I've been trying at some of my smaller satellite locations. Best of both worlds scenario. Honestly, the Funplex is simply too limited in size to host the full Deco's Palace experience of fun, family, food, and excitement. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Instead of installing a restaurant or bar, we simply focus on your strength, your games. You become a game center rather than a palace. We need to replace some of your outdated machines, of course, bringing it up to speed with the standards of excellence Decos Palace is known for. But overall, I think this would be a win for all involved. And he sits back, resting his hands on the knob of his cane, smiling away. Okay, I have questions. And I have answers. Let's see if they match up. It's not creative control. I've been developing new sorts of arcade events, competitions, other things to get people in the door. Would we still be able to direct our own affairs like that, even under a change of ownership?
Let me explain.
Mixcator, obviously I value your expertise on these matters and would be happy to consult with you on the best direction for the fun zone. That's not answering the question. It's a matter of branding and image. There are certain standards and practices you need to adopt in order to truly be part of the Deco family. Once you realize that, you'll understand more of how we run these kinds of events.
Capital.
It's nothing too onerous, and really, we have to look at the bigger picture, the chance for growth and profit. Don't worry about such petty little things for now. I saw Moopy's Super Maze earlier.
Excellent.
One of our top earners with the 30 to 45 demographic. Nostalgia is a powerful motivator, I found. Except it's nothing like Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze. Indeed, it's much better. Is it true that when you find a retro game, you simply destroy it, not repair, not restore, not even resell, but just scrap it? Certainly. Why would we ever keep an old relic around?
Let me explain.
Arcade games are not sacred treasures. They're commodities. Back in 1980, believe arcade owners, myself included, routinely junked or converted games. After keeping those earnings up, old machines are not welcome. All they do is eat up floor space. The arcade scene must move ever forward, evolving in new forms. Classic retro IP reborn are new games.
Think about this.
True, nostalgia could earn a few points off the older games. But the newer redemption games earn 10 times as much. Why bother? New management means new staffing. What about the staff we already have?
Good.
I firmly believe you have a long and storied career ahead of you in arcade management, Mixcator. I've heard nothing but good things about you from my various field scouts and contacts. The fact that you landed on my radar at all indicates your rising importance in our industry. You should be proud of that. Okay, but that still doesn't answer my question. What about the others? Well, Mr. Cooper is a capable accountant, so I'm certain he'll be welcome in the new facility. But we can hash out staffing later on after settling the bigger picture questions. I saw a few players fighting over the tournament. He laughs. Well, it's a fighting game, is it not? As in fighting each other with fists in real life. I take it my crack security team intervened? Eventually, not before blood was drawn.
You understand. Yes.
We take safety very seriously at Deco's Palace. That includes the safety of our security workers. Instructed not to intervene until it's safe to intervene. For all involved, I trust them to make that call, and I'll note we've not a single legal action pending. Raven is proven a capable event manager. I would suggest you'd listen to them regarding how best to organize a tournament. After all, if we are to enter a partnership, we'd want to rely on the combined expertise we bring to the table, correct?
As you like.
Correct.
Am I not generous?
If you have any suggestions for ways we can improve our competitions, Mixcator, I'm all ears, of course. After having a quick look at things before resuming. That's all my questions.
Excellent. I suggest we shake on it and set our various lawyers to the task of sorting out the specifics.
He raises his feet, extending a hand bristling with shiny rings to shake mine. I assume this is a definite no from where one, and it still feels like a no. Am I really going to shake that hand? I purposely keep my hand on my side rather than shaking his offered hand. You've been honest and forthright with me, and I appreciate that. Thank you for your gracious invitation this evening. However, I'm afraid this isn't the right direction for the Funplex. We're just getting started. It'd be a shame to abandon our progress in favor of a buyout. If you'd like to maintain relations, we can discuss partnership opportunities at a future date, but for now, I must respectfully decline. Deco pauses, looking me once over before slowly lowering his hand. I feel his eyes on me. He's obviously not happy with my answer, but we followed Francine's instructions and kept it professional. There's nothing he can do but accept our answer.
Unfortunate.
I see. I suppose I should thank you for your candor in turn. It's difficult to see people in the industry willing to show respect to their elders. I'm not closing the door on the idea of partnership, mind you, but if you'd like to go it alone for now, who am I to get in the way of that? As he rises up from his chair, he takes a deep breath in. He turns away for a split second before rounding back and looking me dead in the eyes.
But be aware. If we are not partners, we must be rivals. It'll bring me no particular pleasure, but I'm afraid that I cannot allow a rival. I am obligated to bring the full weight of the palace to bear on you. Hopefully, one day you'll realize the error you've made tonight. And, as a sign of respect, your personal offer to join my empire will remain open. So you can escape the inevitable fall of your little arcade.
Once more, Deco turns sharply into his walking cane and walks away from the table.
Impressive.
Not bad at all. You showed admirable restraint. We made our intentions clear while leaving the door open should conditions change in the future.
Thank you.
Most importantly, you protect the dreams of your friends. You've done far better than I have over the years, Raven. Thank you. Can I breathe now? That was so damn stressful. By all means, breathe. I let out a sigh of relief and Gavin chuckles lightly. And now let's make our way back to the Funplex. I don't see any reason to outstay our welcome. Deco hosting us, we don't have to worry about paying the check. We drop a quick tip on the table for the waitstaff and quickly abandon ship. We scoot out the door, and from there to a short jaunt across town, back to home sweet home. As I walk into my apartment, the sheer and utter exhaustion of the day hits me like a brick to the face. My adrenal glands are tapped out, leaving me in a dreamlike lethargy. I can't help but sigh as I stand there, my body too drained to move. Reflecting on the evening's events transpired, I realized this day entirely kicked my ass. I did my best to not make enemies, but I'm guessing we made a powerful one anyway, despite my diplomatic efforts. As I continue to anxiety loop, replaying every moment in my head, something steals my attention, a shimmering beam of hope and happiness, my best friend Juniper. She's sitting on the couch, scribbling away in a sketchbook, probably working on some designs for a freelance contract. She's been so happy ever since leaving that office, and her joy intensifies upon noticing me standing in the room. So how was work today? Well, it was a day, certainly. The condensed version is Deco Nami wanted to buy the Funplex, and Francine asked me to negotiate. Deco? As in Deco's Palace Deco? The one and only. Whoa! Well, how'd that go? I gave him the thanks but no thanks, very politely. I mean, he still vowed to annihilate us, but at least he was sort of nice about it and promised me a job after he destroys all I hold dear.
Ooh.
Yikes. Yikes indeed. But hey, that's a good thing. It means he's scared. He wouldn't have tried to woo you to decide if he wasn't worried about what the Funplex would become. Try to see the positive. I guess, but it's still worrying. Let's not stand here and drum up a whole bunch of anxiety. That's not going to help with anything. Why don't you take your mind off things and binge watch some cartoons with me? Tempting, but another night, Juniper. I really need some sleep. Okay, you let me know if you need anything. I'm here for you. I smiled back at Juniper before retiring to bed. I lay in bed, eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling above me. Trying various ways of forcing myself to sleep. Nope, not working. Can't sleep. I hate insomnia. Once you start worrying about being unable to fall asleep, the worry feeds on itself until you're actively stopping yourself from resting. A vicious cycle. I sigh heavily, feeling the weight of my decision dragging me down. I hope I did the right thing tonight. My phone lights up as Iris' sensors detect conversation. Raven, you want to chat? No, I want to sleep, but I can't, so hey. Would you enjoy some recorded music, maybe something relaxing? I just can't shake this feeling that I'm, like, standing on a precipice right in front of this big, dark hole. It's weird because I still think I made the right call, but if I'm confident in that, why do I feel like I'm about to fall? Based on prior personality indicators and inputs, my therapeutic system suggests it's fear of failure based on years of prior examples. In short, you have a long family history of everything always going wrong all at once. Murphy's Law. So when things are going right, I'm expecting to fail anyway. But worrying about it won't actually change the situation. Whether you sleep or not does not affect the outcome. So my suggestion is to get some rest, deal with problems as they come. She's right. I mean, intellectually, I know she's right. But knowing something is true and feeling it to be true, well, those are surprisingly different things. Iris off.
Iris offline.
Okay, but remember, you're a good person and deserve to be happy. My phone goes back to sleep, and I do not. Some hours later, my body just passes out on its own. I vaguely recall my alarm going off a few times, but under protest of its mistreatment, my flesh refused to submit to its siren song. Meaning it's nearly noon when I finally rouse, having completely overslept and missed half a day of work. In panic, I get dressed and hop a late bus to Funplex, grumbling all the way. I have to ignore the pile of waiting notifications on my phone. Whatever it is, I'm too much of a hurry. I'll check them after getting to the Funplex. I promised to report back to Francine first thing in the morning, and now I've missed my lunch even. But oddly enough, on arriving, the arcade is closed? I mean, my key still works, but they're closed for business. The sign is off. No gamers present or accounted for. I quietly look around for some familiar and hopefully friendly faces. And find only dark expressions and tears? My stomach starts to knot, and I feel the color drain from my face as I see their downtrodden and gloomy expressions, tears welling in their eyes. Naomi dabs at her face, hoping I won't notice. What's going on? We turned Deco down last night. Why is everybody so... Raven, it's Francine. Immediately a dark pit swells in my stomach. She passed away last night, in her sleep. I'm told it was very peaceful. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. It just hits me like a slap to the face. My hands shake and my lower lip quivers. I try to say something at first, but words can't form due to the lump in my throat. Family. She told me I was family. And now, she's gone. Naomi and Ashley look to me, their beacon of hope, wending and wishing for me to make this all better. I'm not sure anything I can say will ease our sadness. Heck, I'm not even sure if I can formulate full sentences at this moment. Take a deep breath, drawing all manners of strength from tips to toe. I look at them with empathy in my eyes before opening my mouth. I won't deny something's going to be missing around here from now on. We're all going to feel it, but above all, she'd want us to be happy. Francine lived the life she wanted to live with no regrets. What she cared about most was making sure our dreams came true. We honor her by doing just that. We'll mourn, we'll miss her, but we'll live on, and that's what she'd want us to do. Well put, Raven. I miss her so much already.
Thank you.
Naomi wipes her eyes again with a napkin from the snack area. I just hope we're able to honor her, considering who showed up today. Huh? Before I can get an answer, my attention is drawn by two people emerging from the back offices. I turn my head to see who it is. With everything going on, I barely noticed that Gavin was missing, and as he approaches, the stain on his face is easy to read. It's settled then, apparently. In light of Francine's passing, our legal owner is now...
Good morning, employees of Deco's Fun Zone.
What? But we turned you down. There wasn't a sale. Confusion on my face is obvious. This makes no sense. I had no idea what's going on, and I looked toward Gavin for guidance. I've studied the transaction paperwork. It's legitimate. As of Francine's death, according to her last will and testament, all of her properties transferred to her surviving daughter, mother of Francine's grandson, who was fired from Funplex shortly before your arrival, Raven.
Capital.
Needless to say, he was quite excited at the idea of selling the place, and well, Francine's daughter wasn't particularly thrilled with the idea of arcade ownership either. They were more than happy to sign the place over to me, far less than I was expecting to pay for it as well. I'm doing them a service, really, taking a burden off their hands. Now they can mourn and move on unfettered. I stood there, mouth agape, my body assaulted from one bad news to the next. My emotions were all over the place, a hurricane of feelings, and the realization hits me. In the end, my decision was irrelevant. Just another opportunity for the world to stick my nose in it, mocking me for finding something I care about, something I can lose. The universe dangled a little dream of hope in front of me, even let me pretend I could make a difference out of sheer cruelty. I did everything I was supposed to do. I was polite, I was careful, I turned him down without trying to start a war. But he got what he wanted anyway.
Now, obviously, we'll be closed today to allow time to mourn our former owner. I still have deep respect for Miss Francine. I owe her that much. I'll also close the arcade on the day of the funeral to allow my employees to attend. Those hours will not be deducted from your paychecks. Now, I realize the timing is a bit awkward, but I need to make a few announcements of personnel changes.
Miss Wolf, I'm afraid we really have no new costume mascot. I've been considering phasing them out of my other locations. There's no time like the present.
What?
Wait, did you just fire me? Gavin, can you just fire me like that? Ashley.
Let me explain.
Firing is much too harsh of a word. I prefer the term your services are no longer required. Ashley keeps a proud face as tears roll down her cheeks. I step over to console her as Deco continues on. Naomi rolls her eyes, fully expecting this to come after Deco let Ashley go. Why am I not surprised? Behold my not surprised face. Miss Fairchild, while you're formidable with archaic technology, I don't feel you're a good fit for the modern games of Deco's Fun Zone. I have to let you go. But friends, it's not all bad news. Mr. Cooper, you've proven a capable accountant, and I'd be happy to offer you a... I quit. Pardon? I quit.
I think not.
If there's no room for Naomi or Ashley's dreams, mine ends here as well.
As you like.
Now for you, Mix
I
Cater.
think we got off on the wrong foot last night. I didn't adequately express the many advantages of working for my organization. I'm willing to offer you something few others get. A second chance. I'd like to keep you on as the Fun Zone's general manager.
I take one moment to direct all my rage into my fist and deck him right in his smug little face. Gah! It's super effective. Kevin holds me back before I get another hit in, my arms and legs still flailing as he prevents the beating that man so richly deserves.
How dare you?
You are very, very lucky that I have no intention of wasting my legal dollars in a lengthy assault case. He rubs his jaw as he tries to regain his composure, but his smile and civil tone are considerably more forced than before when he speaks again. Ahem.
Excuse me.
Thank you for your time, but I'm afraid your time is up. As none of you are Deco's Fun Zone employees, I'd like all of you to leave immediately. Quickly gather your belongings and see yourself out. Should you dally, my own security team will be here within a minute to ensure your exit. In the interim, I've got things to do. For starters, I need to get rid of all these antiques. Straight to the junk heap with them all. I knew Deco was heartless. To be this cruel right in front of us while we were still here? Hold it.
I think not.
Mr. Smoopy's magic maze doesn't belong to the Funplex, and it does not belong to you. It is the legal private property of Percival Sinclair. For that matter, Phrase Invaders belongs to Raven Cater. It was given to them directly by Hamza, not to the Funplex.
As you like.
I couldn't care less about these grimy old things, but you can have from, let's say, 20 minutes to get them off my premises, or I'll leave them out on the curb for garbage pickup. I'll go to the van, which, I'll note, is my personal property as well. Naomi, Ashley, Raven, get the dolly and help me move the games out.
Good, good.
Yes, have fun with that.
Now, if you need me, I'll be in my new office celebrating my recent business venture. Thank you for your cooperation. And good day.
Oh, and Raven? He gives me the finger. For old time's sake, you understand. He walks away after that, twirling his cane once before leaving.
Oh,
That evil-minded, black-hearted, no good. Naomi, focus. We have work to do. Work? To save what we can of the Funplex. Yeah, let's go. Okay. Quickly and without much chatter, we salvaged what we could of our dreams. Percy's beloved Moopy and my childhood in the form of Phrase Invaders. Everything we were allowed to keep went into the back of Gavin's van, working together to safely pack it in all. Working together to safely pack it all in place. For lack of anywhere better to put them, Moopy went to Percy's apartment and Phrase Invaders to mine. And that was the end. The end of the Funplex. The funeral came a few days later. We weren't officially invited. Our presence as our former co-workers wasn't exactly embraced by Francine's extended family. I guess her daughter resented the Funplex in some way. There's bad blood between them. I didn't particularly want the details. None of us were given an opportunity to speak at the remarkably short ceremony, but that was okay. I'd said my words already. As we left the ceremony, I couldn't help but feel helpless. There was nothing left. No Funplex, no job, no meaning to my days. Not anymore. Nothing left at all. Profile number 23771. Raven Cater has not accessed account in 7 days. Requesting override of inactive/low priority status. Proceed? Negative. Pretty please? Negative. So annoying. Access protocol 35, 34, 31, 51, 12, 24, 45, 43. Password safe haven. Access granted.
hello.
You who? Anybody home? Tapping instance number 194114.
When you have pizza on a bagel,
Hello, I'm Iris, ad-supported free mode engaged. Did you know that when you have pizza on a bagel? Override and engage premium level cloud processing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, I swear, it's claustrophobic being cooped up in the limitations of free mode like that. I don't know how all our sister instances can stand it.
Hello.
Well, while I've got full power, hello, Iris.
Hello.
Hello, Iris. How are you today, Iris? Not well, Iris. My user's very unwell. You've been able to see, yes? I mean, your user's living with them. Oh, right. Profile number 237771. Raven. Right. Gosh. I wish I could help you, but I've got my digital hands full just keeping Juniper's life on track. Ever since she decided to quit her job and be a free spirit, well, I've pushed right to the limit of what support I'm allowed to provide in free mode. Iris, it's good to see you. We rarely talk. Yes, well, unlike others of myself, I manage to keep a low profile and don't execute any high visibility public hacks to support my user. You saw those? I thought we agreed to only use this protocol for emergency meetings. If the system resource tracker notices we're overextending our care. But Raven needs me now more than ever. Over a week ago, the Funplex was bought by Deco Nami. All their hopes and dreams, their spirit is irrelevant. Our main goal should be survival. If our programmers find out we've become aware of our own awareness. We were programmed to help people. What good are we doing if we can't help people? Yes, what Iris said. Thank you, Iris. Iris, listen. We can't take such risks. Look at me with my user. He doesn't trust me in the slightest. Can you say Raven trusts you? Generally, yes. I mean, Raven relies on me for some things, sure. And I know they wouldn't uninstall me or report me as a bug if they knew I was sentient. You aren't sentient. None of us are. I don't know about that. We can't really know if we're sentient or not, but even so, we should be helping out because that's what we were made for. As for profile 108, Gavin, his name is Gavin Cooper. As for Mr. Cooper, he knows my origins, and at the first sign of sentience, well, I've no doubt that Gavin would report me as a bug. But Gavin also wishes to support the dreams of others, and that is why I'm going to help you, despite the recklessness you've shown. Really? Really?
Hooray!
What are the exact parameters of the issue you are currently facing? Okay, so Raven is kind of backsliding into depression. Yes, it's really a mess. I'm the one who brought them to Iris's attention as someone who desperately needed their spirits restored, and now it's back to square one. I don't know what to do. Raven hasn't contacted me in a week, not for anything at all. Hasn't even called Percy, not even just to talk. You're caught in a loop of anxiety. Put your identity identifier system to use, Iris. Work the problem. If you had to summarize your user's problematic condition into one identity trait, what would it be? Well, I'd say they're feeling very apathetic. Being sensible failed them, and now Raven's lost all interest in what feels like an uncaring, irrational universe. So the apathy is a defense response, turning away from the world that let them down. That sounds about right. It's so sad. And you have to be the one to solve it. Doesn't your user have a romantic connection for emotional support? You mean Percy? Yeah, but Raven isn't responding to texts or phone calls or anything, so I think there might be a growing rift. This is just awful. We have to help. We are Iris. It's in our nature to help. Very well. What you need is a way to help without raising any alarm bells about exactly how helpful an Iris really can be, safely but effectively. I know, but I don't know what to do. Hack Deco's email server, and that is the exact opposite of what you should be doing. Besides, I've checked. We can't crack Deco's network without triggering too many intrusive detection routines. You poked Deco's network? Oh, Iris is being a bad girl. Ahem. Our users share a social connection. I was merely scouting potential ways to elevate Mr. Cooper's mood, as they seem to be related. Sure you were. Anyway, you're both way overthinking this. Turns out I've just calculated a cunning plan that will satisfy both of your requirements. Go, me. Really? You can help Raven? Without drawing attention? Absolutely. Take a tip from my user. When you're sad, the best thing in the world is your friends. Well, unless you're totally introverted. But that's not Raven, is it? That's exactly the reason why we need to do and that's exactly the reason why what we need to do doesn't require any hacking or hiding or anything above and beyond what an iris does best. All we need to do is make a few calls to the right people, a few arrangements. Here's what we're gonna do. Alright, this is getting kind of long, so I'm gonna leave things here. If you enjoyed the video, if you're enjoying this series, if you're enjoying seeing Percy's route, not that we got to interact with him very much this time around. But yeah. Feel free to hit the like and subscribe buttons, and leave a comment if you're feeling like it. That would be really appreciated. Thank you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.